Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Juggernaut, and these will be my first impressions of a brand new collectible card game called Hand of the Gods. So, Hand of the Gods is a collectible card game, like I mentioned, set in the SMITE universe. So SMITE, for those of you that aren't aware, is a third-person MOBA. Well, yeah, it's a third-person MOBA, basically, where your heroes basically are a selection of various gods from different mythologies, Egyptian, Greek, Norse, some Indian as well. Basically the ancient gods, and they fight out in a MOBA environment. This is a collectible card game, however, I say that with a pinch of salt. You have two ways of looking at this game, basically. It's either a collectible card game with Heroes of Might and Magic combat, or Heroes of Might and Magic combat with collectible card game elements. It's kind of like a 50-50 situation. Essentially, I'm going to go into a game right now and show you what exactly is going on. And I will walk you through basically the basics of gameplay and the basic elements to the game, and then we'll talk about a little bit more about the game in general and why I think it deserves its righteous place among the top collectible card games on the market right now. And you know, while on the topic of that, let's be honest, this is a very competitive scene at this point. You have extremely popular games like Gwent, Hearthstone, and a few other ones that are also free to play on Steam, so this will get picked apart quite a lot and looked at through a microscope, basically, because there is quite a lot of competition. Which is good. I do enjoy collectible card games quite a bit, and I specifically enjoy this one a lot. So, for those of you that don't know, this might be relevant for some of you. Essentially, I've played a lot of Hearthstone, I've played some Gwent, around maybe 30 to 40 hours of Gwent, and a bunch of Hearthstone, so I do know my collectible card games. Now, we're going to take a look at the business model and everything else, considering it's a free-to-play game, towards the end of the video, but for now, the basic gameplay. So, you have a very simple mana system like in any other game, or not really like in any other game, but pretty much the same one you have in Hearthstone, whereby you start off with 2 mana, unlike 1 in Hearthstone, and each subsequent turn you get an additional mana crystal, if you will, and at the start of your turn you have all of your crystals full, and you drain them by using the cards. It's rather simple, really. Cards cost various crystals. Simple as you can get it, right? The decks themselves, obviously you can collect cards and build your own deck. I'm using some of the basic decks here. The decks themselves seem rather interesting and rather unique in that every one of them has a unique playstyle. It's an Odin versus an Odin game, so you're not going to really see a lot of that. I'm going to show you that a little bit later. But Odin's deck, which is the one I've been playing the most, relies on spamming a lot of units, basically. The more units you have on the board, the better you are off, which you'd think is always the case, but Odin specializes in spamming a lot of units that are very, very weak. But however, he uses magic cards to basically, supplement for their weakness, and so on and so forth. Each guy, basically, what I'm getting at is each deck has its unique playstyle, which is very, very good. How balanced is it? I'm going to need about 1,000 hours to give you an accurate assessment, so at this point, I don't know. So, what's the game like and what it's all about? Well, like I said, you play the cards, and there are 2 types of cards, basically. There are spells and there are units. Spells you play pretty much instantly, and it does what it says on the tin. Example right there, what my opponent played. Actually, the video in the background and my voice might be slightly desynced, but sorry about if that's the case. Spells are what you'd expect them to be, pretty much. You play it and it activates immediately, and it says and it does what it says on the card. Units, on the other hand, you deploy. And the turn that you deploy them on, unless they have charge, they're sleeping, they can't do anything. Where you deploy them, though, is a bit more interesting, perhaps. Here's why. You deploy them on a Heroes of Might and Magic board, essentially. And the combat plays out a lot like that as well, in that unlike Gwent and Hearthstone, they don't magically just go up against each other. You give them specific orders, who to fight and where, so stuff like positioning of... Well, there's no real terrain to position them around, which actually might be a good idea for the future, but unit positioning in the sense of where are they in relation to other units is very important, and a lot of the gameplay, actually the vast majority of the gameplay when it comes to units, is based around that. Sometimes you want your stuffer units in the front, sometimes you want them in the back. Archers you generally always want in the back, right? Speaking of which, there's two types of units, which I just mentioned. Melee or melee units, however you want to pronounce it, and ranged units. Ranged units, when attacking another ranged unit, essentially take each other's health, right? So if a ranged unit attacks another ranged unit, it does the damage, and the attacked ranged unit then defends itself and does its damage to the unit that attacked it. Right? It's a bit convoluted, I hope you're following so far. Melee units basically do damage and take damage no matter what they do, whether they attack ranged or melee units. But ranged units are rather interesting because you can use them to attack melee units and not be attacked on the same turn themselves. It's a rather convoluted way of explaining a more or less simple thing, but it is important, very important for the gameplay. It's basically the two types of units that you have, so might as well learn that and get that out of the way immediately, I think. So, with that being said, you play on a 5 by however many turns horizontal, however many squares horizontally there is board, and your objective is to destroy the enemy's summoning stone. When you do that, basically you win the game, and that's it, really. So, other than the difficult to explain, but actually rather simple unit types system, that'll be pretty much it, as far as the gameplay, basic gameplay elements are concerned. So, like I said, we're going to take a look at the business model a little bit later. What about the cards themselves? What about the units themselves? Are they fun to play? Yes, I would say so. The cards that I've seen thus far and the decks that I've played thus far, I really enjoy. In that there is variety to it, but it's the way that the units and the spells and everything interact with each other is very good, and it's very well thought out, and I quite enjoy it. So let's move on to something else now, for example, the shop. Alright, so let's head into the store like I mentioned, and here is going to be my harshest criticism of the game. Here's the thing. You have two currencies in this particular title. In-game currency, which is this green thing, and runes. This is how you buy runes. You see the problem? Alright, let's do some math. Let's say I want to buy a 7-core pack. Or 7-core packs, sorry. Right? Every pack gives you 5 random cards, one of which is rare or higher guaranteed. It's actually pretty damn good. I recorded myself opening 6 of those packs, I think. Yeah, 6 of those packs. Unfortunately, the game is in beta and had a bit of a hiccup, and all that the OBS managed to record was a black screen, so yeah, little did I know. So I feel like I've wasted money there, but at any rate, here's the thing. The rarity and the quality of those cards is pretty good. From the limited sample size of 6 packs that I had. I wish I had another type of 6-pack, but that's an inside joke for a different video, or a different type of video. At any rate, let's do some math, and show you why this is a terrible, terrible shop compared to something like Gwent or Hearthstone. You can't buy a set amount of runes that you want. I can't buy 500 runes, which is a damn good number, right? I can only buy 400, 800, or 1,500. Above this is ludicrous, and it's not worth looking at, because if you're going to spend $25, $35, $50, or $100 on this game, doesn't really matter. You're not really interested in the few dollars of difference that exists over here. Plus, like, these 3 will be the ones that are selling the most, right? Imagine this one will be the one that sells the most. At any rate, all these packs, perhaps, as well, fountain packs and stuff like that, perhaps, as well. Here's the thing. In order to buy 7, I'm going to need to buy 400 plus 200. Now, that's going to give me, what, 600 runes. So I pay 500 for this, and now I have 100 runes and nothing to do with them. Because this costs 150. So I can't buy anything, literally, with them. Until I buy another purchase, which is probably, again, this, which gives me 350. So I spend 150 on this. Good. I had 350. I spend another 150 on that. Okay, I've now bought 4. I have 50 left. Say I want to buy 7. I have to buy 400 again. And then 200 again. Because I would then have 450. It's a bit convoluted again. My point being that they should do it, in my modest opinion, and I dare say objectively this would be better for the consumer, to be able to buy these with real money. This costs $5, this costs 8, 9, whatever, probably 9. This costs, I don't know, 15, this costs $40. Just pulling numbers off the top of my head, I really don't know. Doesn't matter, but this would cost like double, right? At any rate, it's much better than this rune system. Free-to-play games on the Play Store for Android do this type of thing, and they're not very successful or good. Bearing in mind this is a beta and things are bound to change towards release, I certainly hope the rune system gets removed. It's highly unlikely, but I really, really don't like it. Let us buy this for money. Do not, because here's what it essentially does. It milks an extra $5 to $8 from you every time you want to buy something. Every time you want to buy an amount of packs, right? Which is scummy. Which is just scummy to the absolute point of absurdity. It could be worse, of course, but it's just no, it's terrible. Why? Terrible. It's actually, here's the thing. It's going to put off a lot of people, and for someone this is entirely acceptable. Fair enough. Have at ye. Go ahead. Of course, if you find it acceptable and find it a better system, I'm here to tell you you're wrong. For the consumer, it's not better to have runes instead of pay actual money for this. In no world is it better. Unless you can take these runes and trade them for real-life money elsewhere and make a business out of this, in no world is it better. Thing is, it's putting me off now. Because I would have bought 2 packs. Maybe I would have even bought 7. But I'm not going to pay $8 plus $5 to buy a 7-pack and then have X amount of runes just sitting there for the next month, probably, or maybe even forever. Right, it's just no. Let's take a look at the alternative way of earning money, though, or earning in-game money. Quests, dailies, essentially. These are your daily quests, and you can change one of them, I think, per thing. Win 4 games, play 60 gods, and win 3 games while playing as Ra. So, there you go. That's how you earn in-game currency, by doing dailies, and you can buy about, what, maybe 1 per day if you play quite a lot? Which is not a terrible grind. I think you can buy more in Hearthstone. Again, I just, to be brutally honest with you, I think Hearthstone has a superior microtransaction system, and they should learn from that, because, you know, obviously they've taken a lot of inspiration from that game. So I think they might as well just copy that over as well, because I find it to be objectively better. But let's play another game as Ra and see what we do, basically. Show you another type of deck, and yeah, I think that'll do it for the video. So we're going to be playing against Odin.
The sun has risen once again.
Ha. Well, this is either going to go really, really well, or it's going to go terribly. We'll see, I suppose. Alright. Deal 3 damage. That's a odd opening. Alright. Wait, what did you just do? Fate and backstab. It puts you a little bit ahead, but you have no momentum. I'm not here to criticize the enemy, nor am I here to interrupt him when he makes a mistake. So, shush. Watch this guy beat me. That was not a very ideal opening, though. At all. Alright. Let's see, what else do we have here? We have a Doom Speaker. Excellent. Actually, last time I played as Ra, I also noticed that it's instead of columns, I read that as rows, which is, I mean, it doesn't say that, so that was a bit of a oopsie moment. Where I could have won, but hey. Actually, I'm not sure if I probably shouldn't have said that, because I probably have that game. I'm probably going to edit it in. So if you just... let's try this again. If you've just seen that game, I've learned my lesson. If you haven't, then it's been lost because the game's in beta, and it's sort of... The game doesn't crash. I haven't noticed any bugs with the game itself, but what I have noticed is that it's a bit difficult to record. As in, the recording sometimes messes up in a few ways, so, you know, just bear with me as we get along, as we move along, I suppose. What did he use? Gungnir's Might. Gungnir's, sorry, I'm butchering the name. I mean, you're aware that I can heal. Huh. Alright. Attack that thing. I'm gonna use Recruiter. It wasn't really worth it, but I could buff it up a lot next turn, so we'll see. If he removes Sobek, that's good for him, but he only has 2 cards, though. I have a card advantage, which is important too. See, Sobek is going to go down to a 1-1. I can heal him. Odin doesn't have a lot of healing. But he probably has a removal card, doesn't he? Or not. Alright. I was kind of hoping that that will happen. Because he just basically is now worth gold, essentially. Because he did damage and he took out a card of equivalent worth. So, yeah. Alright, this is a 5-3. Now would be a good time for... What do you gain when I play a spell? +1, +0, and +1 movement. Deal 2 damage to a unit. You know what? I will. I'll just take it out like that. But that's not all. Because I can then give myself 5 mana. I'm looking for a way to buff the damage on this thing. We can do it next turn always. It keeps the damage bonuses. And 6 is really when I start exploding. Silence an enemy, we don't need that yet. I'm going to put down Fury. My god, that thing looks terrifying. Alright. I'll put down a pair of Furies, probably. Depends on what he plays. Again, card advantage is king in these situations. It's good to have 10 mana, but it's not good to only have 1 card while you have 10 mana, and that card is like a 2-cost spell. At that point, you start backtracking a lot. This is experience from Hearthstone speaking. Come on. This is actually very good. Like, this is actually awesome. That's probably... Alright, this is some next level strats. Check this out. That would have been close. Alright, here's what we're going to do. We're going to clear this off. We're then going to put down Sobek, and we're then going to heal. Can you? Damn it. I'm almost thinking this is a better option. Nah. Yeah, sorry, the Fury is immune to return damage. Never mind. Yeah. Alright, good enough. He only has one card left, though, so... Well, two, because he drew one, but... Yeah. Okay, let's see. Execute, we're going to save that up. Put down another Fury. Start doing some damage. Does this work? No. Okay, so it has to be a damaged unit. I thought I could, like, heal but not replenish any HP, but still count it as heal. As a heal, sorry. No. Makes sense. Deal 2 damage. Okay. I can heal it for 2. In fact, the amount of benefits I'm about to receive for healing units is... Actually, I want to test something out that I've never tested before with this deck. Can I heal a summoning stone? Or, you know, the summoning stone. One. Ooh, this is going to be good. That is... You know what? I could win, or I could BM. But he would have GG'd by now if he, you know, had any interest in having proper manners, so...
Good game.
Alright. Should have let me... If you're going to BM, then BM all the way through, not just... this is actually the ultimate BM. You knew you couldn't win and yet just finish your turn anyway. Don't do that, people. If you knew you were going to lose, just let me move on to the next game. But, you know, the game just started off. I'm sure people will learn that eventually, like they did in other titles as well. Alright, I think that'll be enough. That'll be enough for this video. Thank you very much for watching, ladies and gentlemen. I've shown you the basics of the gameplay. I've shown you the... I've shown you pretty much everything you need to see as far as the basics of this game is. Let's get a core pack and purchase one, because I owe you those 6 that I opened. Let's get another one. Let's see what we get. Alright. Not too bad, not too bad. I don't have a lot of these, so you know what? Not too bad. There you go. That was enough. Thank you very much for watching, ladies and gentlemen. Please remember to like and subscribe down below if you enjoyed this video. Until next time, have fun, take care, and bye-bye.